Hey, the home was vacant. Good afternoon. So, have you ever heard about a sovereign citizen? I had not. I was watching some show maybe a year ago and I started seeing the sovereign citizen phenomenon. Um, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a person that believes in a in the laws don't apply to them basically in the United States, that there was some sort of they've been chosen as, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, they don't believe in the laws of the United States. So, wanted to go through this story. It's a wild story, and as a real estate agent, it's kind of a nightmare, and as a homeowner, also a nightmare. Let me get that for you here, and we'll just go through it. So it says five self-proclaimed sovereign citizens, including a dentist and a sex offender, are charged with burglary after they moved into a widow's $1.5 million home, changed the locks, and filed bogus legal documents to claim ownership. And then sovereign citizens believe that a decades old conspiracy theory claiming the American government is set up by founding fathers was secretly replaced. So I just wanted to go through it. I thought it was kind of interesting. It says five self proclaimed sovereign citizens, including a dentist and a sex offender, have been charged after they moved into a widow's $1.5 million home after she put it on the market, changed the locks, and filed bogus legal documents to claim ownership. The homeowner, who was asked not to be named out of fears for her safety, had listed the property and moved out after her husband had died last year. But in June, squatters, including an infant, moved into the $1.5 million mansion on Falls Road in Baltimore. So it's kind of interesting. Even to start, it says have been charged after they moved into a widow's $1.5 million home after she put it on the market. So I don't understand if she put it on the market, what's going on. So it says concerned neighbors called the owner after the squatters put up a chain across her driveway and signs warning trespassers to keep off the property. Weeks of legal wrangling ensued as the squatters refused to come out of the home when cops demanded they leave. Police even tried to get them to leave by deploying helicopters and armored vehicles to the property. So now these people have moved in, and unless they move out, like you have to go through the eviction process, I suspect, which is not great, not a good situation. So it says when they finally got a warrant to enter the home, police found a Mercedes parked in the garage. It says two of the squatters have now been arrested and hit with the charges, including burglary. And then it says sovereign citizens believe in a decades-old conspiracy theory claiming the American government was set up by the founding fathers was secretly replaced and that laws and law enforcement are a sham and have no authority. Now, be careful with this law enforcement are a sham. We're seeing the court system make some dicey decisions. And we're seeing selective prosecutions right now. So this is the path that I guess we're going to continue down. It says three other squatters have also been hit with charges but have not yet been arrested. Then it says that the mansion's listing described the home as a Telluride-style resort lodge nestled on a hilltop site with vistas into the woodlands. The Baltimore Sun, who did the article, who wrote the original article, acquired a series of lawsuits filed between the owner and this person detailing the saga as well as the charging documents for the squatters. This one squatter calls herself a non-citizen national, and court records list an address for her that's shared with another person, the website of which describes her as a dentist. So now we've got someone that may or may not be a dentist squatting in a home. In June, the squatter filed a complaint against the homeowner, claiming that she hired a third-party real estate agency to short sell the property below market value, which is legal in Maryland, though the homeowner denies the allegations. The lady, again, the squatter, claims the home is hers because it was clearly abandoned and alleges she entered it through a broken back door. It says Maryland law lets trespassers legally own a property by occupying it for 20 years. And I did a paper for this in college, and I don't remember what it was called. And it's getting to me. Eminent domain. Eminent domain. Then it says one of the squatters allegedly posed as a buyer's agent to hire a home inspector and hired a contractor to install new security cameras. So the house is listed. Then someone that said they're a buyer's agent hired a home inspector, which is bad because that's going to cost money to somebody or they're going to lose money. And then the contractor to install the new security cameras takes guts. And so then later on in the article, it was cops were finally granted a warrant when they identified one of the squatters as a convicted felon during a traffic stop when he left the property. So I guess they just sat there and waited. But the traffic stop means he would have had to do something for probable cause. Although I'm not an attorney, I'm just saying that it seems like that would be the case. It says the person was previously convicted for a number of sex crimes and for impersonating a lawyer. He was arrested when cops searched the home and found a loaded handgun and ammunition in a safe. He's been hit with burglary and weapons charges and being held without bail. The court records also show this woman who's been filing lawsuits also filed a lawsuit trying to claim ownership of a foreclosed commercial property. So they know what they're doing, or somewhat. There's a method to their madness. So what do you think about this? So the house is listed. I guess it wasn't getting many views. Because, like, I'll just tell you, one of my bigger fears would be, and always has been, I'm worried about realtor security a lot. And you go in a house and, someone's there that's not supposed to be. And do you expect it on $1 million houses? I don't expect it anywhere, but I definitely don't want to be involved with it. As an agent, what is your responsibility? Let's say you're the buyer's agent and you go to this house and there's a fence or you get the showing instructions and there's a chain across the door or the driveway, and no trespassing signs out, and it looks like somebody's living there. Your responsibility would be to call the listing agent, say, hey, I think somebody's living at this house. Your responsibility would be for the safety of your clients and you, so you wouldn't go in the house if you knew someone was there that wasn't supposed to be. And then if there was someone in there and you happen to open the super and go in, it would be good to leave. It'd be good to leave. It's not worth. I once had an agent friend of mine who was leasing a property. He was a listing agent, and he had an appointment. Somebody had called for an appointment for him to go show the property. So he met the person at the property, and it turns out it was the person that had been evicted. And so he called and said, and so this guy wanted to argue with the agent, and it's like crazy, just crazy. People come up with crazy things. So I had some thoughts, and I had some questions I wanted to go over them with you. Number one, now this is the second time we've seen that sovereign citizens don't mess around with real estate. When they see a vacant home, they go for it. So I believe the other one was in Pennsylvania, and it was also a very nice house, and somebody just moves in. And then, so, the trouble that the owner had to go through just to get them out of the house is something that should be looked at. So what are we doing with the laws, related to squatting in the United States, in these municipalities? I mean, they had to get a warrant just for this person. And these people tend to clog up the court systems with all kinds of stuff. And either the penalty's not too high for it or not high enough or something, but probably need to take a look at this, because this is not going to lead down a great path. And this is one of the reasons why I'm confused by the way the world is going. That's why I like to report all these stories. These sovereign citizen things just blow my mind. They believe they're not subject to the laws of the United States, but in this way, there are many people who aren't sovereign citizens who also believe the laws don't apply to them. And so as we go forward, and as we don't, we only agree with this law on a certain day, and only agree with that law on a certain day, selective prosecution, more and more of this stuff is going to happen. So, and then for myself as a real estate agent, one of the first things I do when listing a home is to get a copy of the tax records. And then I make sure that the person that I'm talking to is the actual owner of the house. They have to have the ability to sell the house, or I'm wasting my time. Look at what happened in this case. They called out an agent, got a home inspector, and they were really going to try and sell this house. So in this case, if they would have called me, would I have gone out there and taken a look at the house? I guess. But then when it got to the point with, do you own the house? That would probably have been an issue. Now, sometimes sellers will get mad at you when you ask, do you own the house? Wait, what do you mean? Of course I own the house. Well, this is the reason why we ask. This is the reason why we ask. Because, I mean, can you imagine listing a house and the person doesn't own it? And then it goes under contract. You've wasted hours and hours, and you've wasted money, and now you get nothing. You get nothing. So, gosh, what do we do about this? I don't know the answer. Leave me what would you do about this? Put it in the comments section below. This is going to be an issue if the sovereign citizens believe they own real estate that is being listed. I mean, there's going to be plenty of squatters. And while I've only seen it happen twice now, it is happening. So can't say it's not. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.